Hey guys, Ryan from KUIU. Today we're going to talk about the initial setup of an Icon Pack. First I want to get into talking about your torso length. Second I'll talk about how the torso length relates to the backpack. And then finally putting on the pack and setting it up. So how do you measure your torso length? Two things to keep in mind. On the upper portion, you're going to look for your C7. To find it, all you do is bend your head down, your neck down, and it's kind of like the biggest bump that you can feel up here. So that would be your upper measurement. And then your second measurement, you take from the upper portion of your hip bone, and you kind of like drawing a straight line to your spine. So you can kind of like feel your hip bone, and then where your thumb meets the back. So you have your bottom measurement, and then you have your top measurement to measure your torso. Okay, and so all you gotta do is so he's gonna help me out with a tape measure. So if I took this bottom measurement here and then I measure from my top measurement to my C7, she's gonna take a tape measure. Okay, and so what's the measurement on there?
17.
17. Okay, so 17 inches would be my torso measurement. Okay guys, I got my 17 inches for my torso length. And now what do I do with it in regards to the pack? Your hip, the upper part of your hip bone where you took that first initial measurement, kind of sits somewhere, like in the middle of this pack. So you can I can mark it here for you where the pivot point is. Yeah, so again, this would be the upper portion of your hip bone. And then I'll take my tape measure and then measure 17 inches. And I'll get my 17 inches up here, which was my C7. Yeah. So traditionally, what packs manufacturers tell you to do is, you take that C7, and why that C7? If you look at the C7 in relation to where your shoulders are, the pack should kind of lay right on your shoulder, right about the height of your C7. And pack manufacturers, as a standard, kind of try to have where the pack straps intersect the pack. Yeah, right where it intersects the pack, about 2 inches below that C7 measurement. Yeah, so if I took 2 inches, I put that sticker here, you can see that that's where it kind of intersects the pack. Now keep in mind now, this is not, everybody's a little different and everybody wears their pack a little different. It's just to give you a kind of estimation about a starting point where you can begin your pack setup. Okay, so take for example, we laid out our 17 inches and your straps not where they're supposed to be. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to bring it back to an initial setup. So we had that C7 dot here. We had the 2 inches below as an average where the pack strap should enter or intersect with the pack frame itself. So all you do is loosen these screws with the Allen wrench that's provided. Just enough so that you can slide it up and down. Yeah. These can slide. So if you can see my finger, it intersects right around there, and so right about there is where the pack just intersects the frame. Yeah. And once you kind of got it setting, make sure your screws are lined up together, and then all you gotta do is tighten. And just tighten these to their snug. Okay, so we've got our initial setup, and so now we want to put this bag on. I want to show you the steps that I like to use to check for correct pack fit. First step is to get this pack weighted to about an estimate about the weight that you normally carry. So I got about 20 pounds in this pack right now. So first step is make sure that all your straps are loose. Okay. Put the pack on. So the first adjustment will be your waist belt. So we want this waist belt, again, sitting on your hips, centered in your hips, in your hip bone. Now, two things to keep in mind with your setting. Because this is your initial setup, you have to make sure that it can take a load, number one. It's comfortable, and it doesn't restrict your leg movement. Okay? So keep in mind those factors when setting up that initial hip belt. Okay? Second, I like to attach this chest strap. What it does is it allows me to pull these straps in so that I have a freer range of motion for my shoulders. I don't want to restrict your shoulders. Okay? And then from there, I'll pull down on my shoulder straps. Okay. And we have some cool features on this pack, which I'll get to in another video about loading. We have this top loading strap here called a load lifter. What you're kind of looking for is a 45-degree angle. So from like right about here, it kind of gives you a 45-degree angle. There's two adjustments. You can use either one to get that 45-degree angle. Yeah. And you also have these loading straps on the bottom. Yeah. So you can tighten these, and then you can go back to the top and tighten these to feel if the pack fits you correctly. And given the fact that we just use a basic torso measurement with a basic initial setup, you know, this pack actually fits me relatively comfortable. Probably I'll go out and I'll try different loads, heavier loads, fine tune it. And the beauty of it is you could just take your Allen wrench here and adjust the pack in the field while you're packing, just to get that right fit for you.